Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining today. My name is Lindsay Hume. I'm a trained therapist and certified empowerment coach for women who want to live out their purpose, create extraordinary lives they love, and make an impact. So I like to say that I'm building an army of empowered women who will change the world by courageously living out their purpose and living out jewel-worthy lives they love. In these masterclasses, I teach you mindset tools and strategies based in psychology to help you step into your future self now, to help you do things like overcome fear, overcome self-doubt, to accelerate your success and impact in the world, okay? That is my goal, to give you the tools and the strategies that you need to get both success in your own personal life and make an impact. I know that's important to you. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, if not my favorite, becoming your future self. So let's jump right in. The term future self sounds kind of weird and obscure, but it really just means the person that you are 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever your goal or vision is that you have for yourself in your life, who she is in that vision, right? So right now, you're just your former self's future self, right? 1 year ago, you were not the exact same person that you are today. And depending on what types of transformations or transitions you went through, the change will be larger, right? So for example, if the last year you've spent in the same job and in the same relationship, maybe living in the same place, it's not to say that there will have been no change, right? You will have evolved and learned, and there would have been self-growth based on those experiences, but the transformation or your future self will look much different the bigger your transition is. So for example, like the start of a new relationship or the end of one, starting a new career, moving cities or states or countries, those types of things will produce bigger change, obviously. And sometimes it may seem as though we become our future selves like almost by accident, right? Like that it was unintentional and you don't know how you got here. But the truth is that who you are now is 100% a result of the decisions you made in the past. So whatever it is you desire, right? The first step to becoming that future self is to decide what it is you desire, right? What change would you like to see in your life? Who are you becoming? Is it a CEO, an entrepreneur, maybe a first-time mom, maybe a millionaire? So whatever it is you desire, it's important to get really, really specific. So what does that vision look like? Think about like where you live and who is in your life, where you work, how many hours a day do you work? How do you spend your free time, right? Are you in great physical shape? Do you travel a lot, right? All the details here are important. The more specific, the better, because we don't want to leave any room for our primitive brain to get confused and to start freaking out, right? We want to make it very clear that we know where we're going. We have a North Star, okay? Once you know what you desire, you want to start to design the person who's in that vision. So this is more about who you are being. So what is her demeanor? What are her values? How does she show up in interactions with others? How does she make decisions? What is she wearing, right? This may feel like a stretch for you to identify because you're not her yet, but that's the point, right? To stretch ourselves, to grow into that person and not just wait magically for her to appear someday. One of the ways you can identify what she might be like is to look at people who are already doing what you want and collect ideas. I do this all the time, right? I look at women who are, multi 6, 7, 8 figure coaches, they're writing, they're speaking, they're doing all of these things that I want to do. They're making an impact in the world. They're helping other women to make an impact. And so I look at them and I start to investigate, like, how are they showing up? What is their, how do they stand? How do they enter a room? How does it seem like they talk about themselves and think about themselves? How are they communicating, teaching, sharing all these different things with their audience, right? And so this is really helpful. So if you want to run your own business, for example, you want to look for other women entrepreneurs and see what they're doing and how they're behaving that is different to how you behave right now, right? What specific skills do they have that you don't? You can also include like kind of qualities, personality qualities that you desire. So for example, maybe you think that if you're going to be a new mom, like, or a first-time mom, that you want to be more patient, right? And you want that quality as part of your future self. Maybe you want to be more generous, right? Whatever it is, write everything down and get a very, very clear picture of your future self. Once you have the clear vision of what you want and the clear vision of who you need to be, right? So your future vision and your future self, you want to start practicing being and living like her now. And I know this causes a lot of confusion for people because they're like, well, what if my future self is a millionaire? Like, I can't start to live and be like her now. And so I'll make a caveat here. You want to meet yourself where you're at, right? We're certainly not going to go out and start spending money like a millionaire or making financial decisions from a place of, I am a millionaire. When you meet yourself where you are and you're being like your future self, you start to embody and make decisions in the same way that person would. So let me give you a couple of examples. If your future self is living a luxurious life, think about what makes you feel luxurious right now. Okay, there was this really great example. It was a podcast I was listening to. I can't remember who it was, but for her, one of the things that made her feel really like wealthy and luxurious were these chocolate covered almonds that she would get at her local grocery store, but more of like a higher end market, like maybe like a Trader Joe's, I think it was. But they were expensive, but she really, really loved them. And so every week she would purchase like $2 worth of these chocolate covered almonds because that's what she felt like she could afford, right? That's what she felt like she could add to her grocery list for these non-essential luxurious items. But when she ate them, what happens is you start to embody the feeling of luxury, right? You start to have that experience of luxury right now, meeting yourself where you're at. Another example, and I use these more kind of financial examples, they're very tangible, but like if you are a $1 million CEO and you envision yourself in beautiful, like black designer dresses and high heels to work every day, for example, you wouldn't go and buy like a designer, like a Gucci dress or something right now, right? We can't afford that. What you can do is meet yourself where you're at, and you would go buy the most expensive dress you can afford, and you would start to put that on every day, right? If, your future self lives in a very calm, peaceful, cozy home. I'm just coming up with these on the spot. It's like, start to create that in your home now for yourself if you don't already have it. Like maybe it would include like really nice high-end quality candle and a really soft blanket that you love. Or a scent, some type of scent that kind of brings that warmth and coziness to your space. So start to infuse things into your life that mimic your future vision, your future life that you're trying to create for yourself, bring it into your world now in a way that meets you where you're at. If it is a skill you desire, right, then you'll want to find out how you can learn and start to practice that skill, whether it be to read a book or a free online course. It's all about starting to become her now, not waiting until you have achieved the goal, but intentionally becoming her day by day until you achieve the goal. Okay. So again, I'll say that you don't wait until you've achieved the goal to become her. That's not how it works. You are intentionally becoming her day by day on your journey in the process of achieving the goal. That's how you achieve the goal, is by becoming her. It's like pulling your future, right, into your present rather than it waiting to happen for you. Now, this process works for a few reasons, right? First, it allows you small wins, right? To start living the vision you have of the future now, you have to, like I said, start bringing in, right, pieces of her and of that life in a way that meets you where you're at now. So those are small wins, right? It's fun. It's motivating for the brain to start experiencing these things right now rather than waiting for it to happen down the road. Okay. Second, it accelerates the process of achieving your goal because you're intentionally deciding who you need to be and intentionally taking action towards being her, taking action towards that goal rather than just waiting for it to unfold, right? Okay. And third, it helps manage your primitive brain, the one that just wants to keep you safe, because you are specific in your description and in your vision, right? You have a North Star. So when your brain tries to act up and tell you that you don't know what you're doing, you can just say, hold on a minute. I have the whole vision written out right here. We're working towards it every day. We know where we're going. Now, along the way, you're going to mess up, right? This is not smooth and easy ride. There's going to be some bumps, and that's okay. That is the point. It's going to challenge you, and we want it to. Do not let these bumps be the reason you quit, and definitely don't use them against yourself or to beat yourself up. And in fact, in order to avoid this, I like to ask my clients to find at least one thing every day, right, that supports their future self vision they have created. So just one thing. It doesn't have to be huge. For example, if as part of your vision, you are a sought after speaker, right, someone who gets paid to speak at events, and you just landed a guest spot on a podcast, you want to write that down. Okay. If you are an influencer with 1 million followers in your future vision, the first day you make a post and someone starts to follow you, you want to write that down. These things are evidence of you becoming your future self, right? Do not discount anything that will show your primitive brain that it is working. Give it these small wins on a daily basis to keep yourself motivated and believing in yourself, okay? So that's what I have for you today. In closing, I just want to remind you of the 3 steps. Decide what it is you want, right? What is the future vision, and get really specific about what it looks like. 2, develop your future self concept, right? Write out who she is being, right? What are her skills? How does she think? What does she feel? Third, start to bring her and your future vision into your life now, right? Start to think like her, make decisions like her, spend money like her, all of these things. Start to infuse the vision you have of your future into your life now by meeting yourself where you're at. And then every day, I want you to write one thing down, celebrate one thing that you did that day that enforces or supports, shows you that you are becoming her now, right? It's all working the way you want it to. This is really going to help the primitive brain just relax. It's going to show you that everything's working, right? And it's going to build that belief that you are this person, that the self-concept that you've developed is who you are. And that belief is really important. Okay, belief is a feeling and it drives action, and action that is really, really beneficial to you reaching your goal. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. If you are a woman who really, really wants to make an impact in the world, wants to make a difference, you see that we need to make change, right? The world needs a change and the world needs women, then please, please reach out to me. I really would love to just have a conversation with you. Not a sales call, not a consult call, just one-on-one conversation where we talk about this and we talk about how we can get more women stepping into their purpose, living lives they love, creating abundance for themselves, and making a difference in the world. So again, if that's you, please reach out. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Help me build this army of empowered women that are going to change the world. I want you on my side. I know that I can't do it on my own. I think we're better together. You can reach me at lindsay@lindsayhume.com. That's my email, or you can find me on Instagram at Lindsay_life coach. Quite a day trying to pronounce things for some reason. Otherwise, I will see you next week for the second masterclass in this series of the best of the best. See you then.